Welcome to Galty and the Gator for another wee show.
It's a good one, it's a good one. And we are starting straight in with a fantastic song for you.
Johnny May, tell me what you gonna do. Johnny May, ooh, tell me what you gonna do. I'm gonna stay right here and wait up on something new. Johnny May, I just can't keep from crying. Johnny May, ooh, I just can't keep from crying. She said, now come back, baby, some sweet old love sometime. Lord, I can't be happy no matter what I do. I can't be happy no matter what I do. She said, come back, baby, love that little way you do. Johnny May, tell me what you gonna do. Johnny May, ooh, tell me what you gonna do. Well, come back, baby, come right to keep it here. Come back, baby, baby, gonna keep it here. Johnny May, tell me what you gonna do. Johnny May, ooh, tell me what you gonna do. Come back now, babe, love that little way you do. Love that little long way you do. Whoa. Come back, baby, some sweet love long sometime. Now, come back and reel and rhyme. Johnny May, tell me what you gonna do. Johnny May, ooh, tell me what you gonna do. I'm gonna stay right here and wait up on something new. Stay right here and wait up on something new.
All right. This is Catfish Keith, and you are listening to Galty and the Gators Blues and News Show in Scotland. Yeah.
Coolest guy ever.
No, it's so cool. So we have got a jam-packed show today. We've been chatting to everybody.
Yeah, it's been good fun.
It's been brilliant, and and most of the chats have gone right. We'll just take this bit out because we've been talking so much. But it's
and
nice.
Most of them started about half an hour, and then in the last an hour, and then there's all the other half an hour of swearing that we need to chop. You know, so like it's actually been quite hard work this weekend as well, eh?
Yeah.
You know, like just putting everything, together.
Aye, but it was a good idea of a show, and then when you come up with that, everything else falls into place.
Absolutely, and they've all got. It turns out they're all friends actually, which is quite crazy as well.
Yeah.
More or less, anyway. Every single person on this show is connected. So we've got Donna Harula, who very first professional gig she opened for Reverend Robert Jones, who I spoke to alone ages ago, and he done a wee live thing for us. Then I connected Michael Messler and Donna. Then, but Michael already knew who she was.
Mm-hmm.
Dave used to be Michael's agent, I believe, and both Dave and Michael are friendly with Catfish Keith. And Andres Roots is also friendly with Dave Arcari, actually.
And Trevor.
And Trevor knows all of them.
And
and Trevor knows all of them.
he stayed with Dave.
And he stayed with Dave. Aye, so it's going to be a great show. But they are all acoustic masters. They all bring something different. And we've got the same song by different artists, just to show you how amazing each version is and how different it is as well. So let's get on the next one before we run out of.
Well, what do you want to put on first?
Andres Roots is cool.
And we've got some cool bits of your interviews, chats, if you want. So, where would you like to go with that? Do you want to start with this one?
Yeah.
So here's The Chic of Hawaii. I'm interested to hear this. I haven't heard this one yet. By Andres Roots. Enjoy.
Hey, I'm Andres Roots, and you're listening to Galty and the Gators Blues and News Show in Scotland.
He's so cool, by the way.
So when I was doing a bit of research, you know, a way back when we were first talking about doing this show, I can't think for the life of me why I would have. I think I actually wanted to know. It's probably got nothing to do with this show. It's probably just to do with music in general. And I was looking up like slide guitar and everything, and discovered that, you know, that the metal resonators and everything. See, I'm learning words. But at the same time as when there was the Hawaiian lap steel guitars were all out.
Yeah,
And it was a different sound, but sorry, that just reminded me of that.
Yeah, well, do you know what? It's funny to get into it without boring everybody. So the original Julian or resonator brass body guitar was actually invented because guitarists always struggled to be heard over an orchestra.
Yeah.
And then electricity come in, so they were rendered useless as an orchestral instrument.
But they were
then
just used, weren't they, for all
Yeah, they were used for
blues musicians
yeah.
were the ones that were like, oh, I will have a bit of that.
Aye, they tended to use them on the street so they could be heard better when they were busking and trying to make money on the street.
See us, all knowledgeable and stuff. Right, so we've got a wee bit of chat from Dave Arcari, who we caught up with there at the weekend, and this is about why he started out, and then we'll have a wee song from him.
Yep.
So here you go. Coolest guy ever.
Hardest to clip a sound clip ever.
I bet.
Oh, there was a lot of words to take out. Like, you'd be surprised. It sounds so natural, but I tell you what, it was about twice the length of profanity.
See, by the time we finish this, we're going to be you're going to be able to go into the job as a sound editor. Enjoy.
Oh, well, I didn't start playing guitar until I was about 18 or 19. I was working in a bank, and I remember we used to get a Christmas bonus in December, and then you get an extra day's holiday, so for a Christmas shopping day. So I just took my Christmas bonus, and then my Christmas shopping day went up to Biggers in Sucky Hall Street and bought a guitar. So I'd be about 18, I think, and my folks were like, that'll be under the bed. So that's the wrong thing to say to me, or it's the right thing to say to me. Because as soon as somebody tells you can't do something, or you shouldn't do something,
Rebel.
Exactly. I mean, all the things that I wasn't allowed to do at school, I wasn't able to do at school. I couldn't pass my higher English, and I made a good proportion of my living as a journalist, and a PR consultant. So it's kind of weird that you couldn't pass your exam. I wasn't allowed to be in the choir because I sung flat. I was only allowed to move my lips and not make a noise. Now, what do I do for my living? Okay, I'm not the best singer in the world, but
last night I met an old friend, shook him by the hand. Something strange was happening, cause he gave me his left hand. But when I shook his hand, it didn't feel so good. But on his little finger, a broken bottle stood. Well, the devil's left hand reached across the sticks. I drank all his whiskey and learned some of his tricks. He got into the hallway, dark and dingy place. Then he turned toward me, I didn't recognize his face. The devil's left hand reached across the sticks. I drank all his whiskey and learned some of his tricks. When the lift door opened, it was way below the ground. A dark and dingy bar room, I didn't hear a sound. Well, the devil's left hand reached across the sticks. I drank all his whiskey and learned some of his tricks. Suddenly there's a crowd getting out control. I whipped his ass and told him, you'll never win my soul. Well, the devil's left hand reached across the sticks. I drank all his whiskey and learned some of his tricks. Well, the devil's left hand reached across the sticks. I whipped his ass and told him, you'll never win my soul.
it's David Carey out of Glasgow here, and you're listening to Galty and the Gators Blues and News Show.
And we're back. So, I would like to just say a quick wee bit about the. Is that all right?
Mm.
So,
I love how you ask me permission. Like the only time he ever does that is when we're on the radio.
yeah. Right,
Just,
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm enjoying it.
Okay. So when we were speaking to Dave, I think he tells a story at his gigs as well. But Devil's Left Hand, he'd already toured with Steve Earle and his son Justin Towns, who sadly passed recently. And he actually asked Steve Earle, because anybody who's a Steve Earle fan listening will know that Devil's Right Hand is his song.
Devil's Right Hand.
Aye, that's a brilliant song. I know it's an anti-gun song, he says, but it's anyway, never mind. He actually asked Steve Earle to listen to it, and if it's all right, he calls it Devil's Left Hand. And not only was it all right, but Steve Earle loved the song as well. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
Aye.
But we've got another hero up,
Yes, we do. Well, yes. I mean, our life's just getting full of them.
Yeah, I know, but they're all lovely people, and that's the main thing.
So, up next, this is the first time I've properly spoken to him as well, which was amazing for me. I have, kind of messaged and what have you, but this is the first time I got to speak to Michael Messer, big, massive hero of yours.
Yeah.
He influences a lot of your music.
And you found out for the first time
that
it wasn't just Slide playing.
Absolutely, yeah. So, so he's got some great stories. We had a fantastic chat with him, and one of the things that I took away from it actually was just how lovely a person he is.
Yeah, I think he's exactly as you would imagine it would be.
Of all the people we've spoken to, and I've loved every single one of them, I felt like I could have just, kind of sat there and talked about anything.
I think you could have, to be
music
fair.
Or
yeah.
But if you're somehow unaware of him, I don't know how you could be if you've been listening to our show. To be fair, go on his website, because he makes spectacular guitars, which obviously you play.
I actually played a Michael Messer Lightning for the intro.
Yeah, and I mean they're gorgeous, but one of these days coming soon, I had to write a poetry piece for my assignment, and I really struggled with the poetry. I mean, I thought I was going to just quit, but I was to write a sonnet, and it couldn't be about a person or a pet, so I wrote a love song to your guitar.
Yeah, and it's amazing, and he loved it as well. So I asked him. It was a funny question, because I asked him just straight up, and I've asked him before why or what made him to start playing acoustic music, because he has innovated not only blues as a genre, but Indian music. He's brought it to Britain. He's played with a DJ live. Now, anybody who saw me as a bass player playing with Griff, he would take out the bass parts, and I would play all the bass parts live. You know. Well, I got that idea from Michael Messer, and nobody really knows that, and I don't think he knew that until the last time we spoke. And you had no idea, because you were like, well, no way.
No, I mean, I knew you'd done that, but I didn't and to be fair, I didn't realise the extent that you'd done it too. I knew it's obviously seen pictures of you, and we chatted about it, but I thought it was like a random thing.
Like a random gimmick. No, that was an idea that come from Michael Messer. But I only, like him, I innovated the idea by reversing it. So he was using the
like scratch and
the decks
DJ
as a how would I say it, was an instrument or as a backing track, whereas like a soundtrack almost,
and played over.
And I used the decks as the track, and I was the instrument adding to it. So it was a bit in reverse. But anyway, let's hear what he's got to say about him. I guess what I want to ask, first of all, being a player, is what got you into playing acoustic blues and slide?
So it's a difficult question to answer, because more than one thing, a lot of different things. And almost every time I answer this question, which I've done over the past 40-something years, I answer it differently because there isn't one answer. So it comes at me from different angles, and the music that I was listening to at the time I started playing, which was in the mid to late 70s, 76, 77, around that time, 78, around that time, would have been J.J. Cale, would have been Rod Stewart, would have been some blues stuff, would have been earlier than that, in the late 60s, early 70s, would have been Rory Gallagher. So it's kind of a lot of different things. Yeah, I really do find that a difficult thing to answer. And also the blues, when I started playing slide, I didn't particularly differentiate between blues slide and country slide.
Oh, yeah.
So I was playing as much kind of country dobro style as I was blues style, because both of those things came at me at once.
Fair enough.
My brother, as you may have picked up from me, I may have said before, my brother Alan has lived in Nashville and worked in music industry since the late 70s. So I first went over there in 79 and became aware, I was already aware, but was confronted with country dobro playing in my face, you know, from some of the great players. So both of those influences came at the same time. I gravitated towards playing blues, and in the early 80s, I started to get noticed for doing that.
This is the situation. I always make, you know, you're probably one of the first names I would have mentioned, eh? And for loads of reasons, it's not everybody assumes it's only the slide playing, but it's for loads of reasons. But you're an innovator that's also approachable, and that for me is the biggest influence.
Right.
Because you're always pushing boundaries, but always accessible, right? And I think
you see that. Sorry, go on. You finish.
That's a very heartwarming, a very positive, and a very welcoming way for the music business to become.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that a lot. And that's how I see myself. You see, the slide playing. Yes, I do that, and obviously over the decades I do it at a certain level, and it is my creative tool. It's my paintbrush. But I've never liked, that's not the right way to put it. I've never been particularly interested in making virtuoso music. Yeah. So I don't really listen to virtuoso musicians because I find their records a bit boring, you know.
So do we. Yeah.
It doesn't particularly interest me. I love what they do. I respect what they do, and I can appreciate what they do, but it's not something that I am particularly interested in. What interests me is great music. Yeah, I love great music. It's not necessarily slide guitar. So the slide guitar and my voice are the paintbrushes, the tools I use to create that. But it's about, my records are about the music. My music's about the music. It's not about the slide playing. Yeah. The slide playing is a big part of it, and obviously is the voice. It's what you, but that's not the main. That's not how I see it. Yeah, if that makes sense. No, if that makes any. And for someone who's a slide player who's played slide guitar on almost everything he's ever recorded, that might sound strange to the listener, but I don't see it in that way. I see it as you're saying, as a not necessarily innovator, whatever you want to call it, but I'm creating my music and using those tools. My voice and my slide guitar are how I do that.
Amazing, eh? He's so cool. Honestly, he's like, every time I speak to him, I had really heartwarming chat with Dave, and I had heartwarming chat with Trevor, but the most life-changing chats I had was with Michael Messer again and Reverend Robert Jones. Those two people in particular, and actually I suppose to a point Donna Harola as well, because I learned a lot about her that is really interesting, and she's really cool, and actually Johnny Burgum was also cool. I tell you what, we've had a great life.
We've had a fantastic few weeks.
But you know what, do you know what I want to point out is, I also love your contribution to this show, that you don't always hear the questions. So folk won't always know who's asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this next bit of chat from our good friend, I think we should put that on first, and then put on. Or do you want to put on? But in fact, put on the Michael Method song first, will you?
No, we'll put. I thought we could save that just now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Because-
let's
well,
hear what
what-
you asked Trevor Steger then, because this will blow your socks off. This is like online comedy. It's amazing, honestly.
This is why you take me along, though. Let's be honest.
Aye, I
So
love
can
you for
sit
it.
there
I
and go,
think it's
oh
brilliant.
God, I can't believe she's just said that.
And
But,
by the way, I want to point out to the listener that if it wasn't for Dave swearing, every bit of chat that you've offered to everybody with a beard has been the same.
yes, I mean, but it is an important. I did a whole 2-hour thing
I know.
on beards, so,
I know, so
I'm
like-
fascinated by the things now. They once upon a time were just facial hair. Now they're like a fashion statement.
I know,
you know.
I know.
So here you go.
Oh, no, okay. So, no, honestly, she's got a beard fetish. Honestly, she wrote this thing on a bit of paper earlier when I was speaking to Dave Arcari. She says, "I'm going to ask something. Go with it." And then she's like, "Do you use product for your beard?"
Yeah, no. Are you asking me that question?
She will, yeah.
Yeah.
So
You want to ask me it now or what?
Yeah.
So, do you just
No. Actually, I didn't. But last Christmas, I was given some beard shampoo and some beard oil. And actually, the beard oil is really cool. It smells lovely, you know, and it's all nice and silky. But yeah, that's right. I've never brought any particularly myself, but people have brought me stuff, so which I do use as in my pampering stage. Yeah.
beard grooming?
Yeah. I see. That must be a thing. Like,
There you are. You see,
told you.
Dave Arcari's. I mean, he goes to town on his.
But he's got. You asked him his shower routine.
Well, he shampoos it and then he conditions it with his wife's conditioner, and then he blow dries it a bit. I know he's got like a hot brush. He's got beard balm.
I was never more like wanting to crawl inside myself than when you started asking him about his shower routine in relation to his beard.
Listen, we were sitting talking to Johnny Bergen, right? And I'm having a wow moment. Not a, but just a wow. I was like, I'm just now realising my life right now, right? And you said to him, Fiona likes to ask people what colour pants they wear.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, but he didn't know that.
However,
he told you.
I did want to know about the shower thing.
And
And the socks.
And actually, to be fair, you said about the socks as well. And he went, like, well, actually.
I know. It's a nice wee knitted Fair Isle set.
A wee Nordic number.
So, moving on.
I know. He's so cool though. He stays in a boat, Trevor. He's got the best
that's what I
life.
was going to say. They've all got these wee cool quirks. I think they can. We have 3 pets and 3 children, and between the 6 of them, they are out individually and as a group trying to destroy any potential career we ever would have. But what I was going to say was, Dave Arcari has a website. They all do. Check his out because he actually does. He makes and sells beard accessories, so you can get a beard.
Sorry, it was assault and burns.
But he's got CDs, vinyls, t-shirts, hoodies, bottlenecks, strings, whiskey glasses, flasks, hats, you name it.
It is an amazing shop, and actually,
earrings.
To be fair, my wee girl's got a set of earrings and she loves them. In fact, she's not had them off.
No,
In
she's
fact,
not.
I'm pretty sure there's some kind of medical thing going to come up soon if she doesn't actually take them out.
Yeah, so you should definitely go and check that out. But what we've discovered is when we talk to people, and the conversations that we have are all, not that we ask the same questions, but the conversations are obviously about music, and about style of play and all this kind of thing, and life in general. And we always seem to get, everybody that we speak to has the same outlook on life, the same frame of mind, the same has taken a similar journey. They're not obviously all the same, and live a similar lifestyle.
Absolutely, and I think as well. I you know what? I can't even add to that. I think it's almost perfect. They're all very grateful for what they've achieved, and in fact, I think we've got. I was talking to Trevor about how many times he's been nominated out the 1500 in England for the last 5 for the Acoustic Solo Award as a blues musician. And bearing in mind, this guy builds his own guitars as well, right? So like he's like literally
that's it.
he is the.
Yeah.
He does
builds
everything.
them. If you're interested, you should look him up because you can buy them as well. He'll make you one.
And his wife is also very talented. So.
And I've got her website here.
Oh, do you?
Aye.
Awesome, that's amazing.
So I'm going to tell you about
yeah,
that
because
too.
brilliant, yeah. So, I feel like we're all like family now. So let's just get on with the music, won't we?
Well, let's hear what he's got to say about the awards. Shall
Right.
we?
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, awesome. You probably didn't set out to get them, but how did that feel when you realised that you were?
Well, I thought I was really chuffed actually. Now it's not thinking of winning or anything, but the thing what was really touched or made me happy was that I was nominated. They asked 1,500 people in England for the top 5, for 5 nominations, and I was one that was chosen out of the top 5. Or nominated. So for me, that is special. I felt really. People talk about being humble, but I felt privileged just to be like, there's so many people out there playing good, acoustic guitar, playing a bit of blues and stuff. And they chose me and done it for several years on the trot. So I don't take it lightly. I really consider it an honor. Yeah. And although I know I won't win, it's always a great marketing tool. You know what I mean? You can put it on your posters, you can, put it on your website, and it just gives possibly, hopefully, potential bookers a little bit of confidence in booking you because you must be at some sort of standard. That's what that's what I feel. Yeah. So it's also, I think it's good for the blues community to have these. It's hopefully maybe it does bring people apart, but it also congeals something. Makes a little bit of a scene. I think.
1, 2, 3. I'm going away to live, won't be back no more. Going back down south, child, now don't you wanna go? I'll be trouble, I'll be all worried mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied, and I just couldn't keep from crying. Well, I feel like snapping pistol in your face. Don't let some graveyard love be your resting place. I'll be trouble, I'll be all worried mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied, and I just couldn't keep from crying. Now all in my sleep, hear my doorbell ring, looking for my baby, Lord, I didn't see a doggone thing. I'll be trouble, I'll be all worried mind. Well, I just can't be satisfied, and I just couldn't keep from crying. Well, I know my little old baby she gon' jump and shout. That old train be late, child. You know that I go running now, and I'll be trouble. I'll be all worried about. Well, you know I just can't be satisfied, and I just couldn't keep from crying.
Woke up morning's goddamn hole. I thought you said you're gonna save my soul. Thought you said you're gonna save my soul. Just give it all to rock and roll. I'm up here. And I'm down low. And I'm up low, and low, low, and low, low, and low, and I'm down. Life is hard, but looking up, there ain't no money in the orange cup. Ain't no money in the orange cup. Think I'm just gonna ride my luck. I'm up here. And I'm down low, and low, low, down. And I'm up down, now, 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 how, and I'm down low. Till I woke up on my hair was thin. I think you know what state I'm in. Girl, I love, treat me like a clown. Always try to put me down. I'm up, hey. And I'm down low, and low, low, how. And I'm up, down, now, 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 and I'm down. Hey. Come on. Me and my girl gonna pick a bell cotton. Me and my girl gonna pick a bell leg. Me and my girl gonna pick a bell cotton. Me and my girl gonna pick a bell leg. I'm up here. And I'm down low, and low, low, and low, 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 and I'm up here. And I'm down low, and low, low, and low, low, and I'm up here. And I'm down low, and low, low, how, and I'm up here. And I'm down low, and low, low, and low, low, and low. See, one of these mornings and it won't be long. You'll look for me and I'll be gone. Get out of town, treat me like a slave, trying to drive me to my grave. One of these mornings and it won't be long. You'll look for me and I'll be gone. Get out of town, treat me like a slave, trying to drive me to my grave.
Hey, I'm Trevor Babjack Steger, and you're listening to the Galty and Gators Blues and News Show.
Hey.
So
That was lovely. See that wee idea that the cool thing about that is we found out when you were there, actually, you were sitting right next to me, soon with. He actually done that wee bit of radio ID for us on the very first Westernborn lap steel that he made, and I think that brings me closer to him. You know, I think that's like a personal, like a personal gesture. Now he's got a similar story to me, like actually, and I didn't realise that. So he's very much a reacher, and he does everything. He does everything to to be self-sufficient, and I think, everybody's heard his previous outfit, Babajack, right? And to be honest, the best thing that ever happened, right, was him not being in Babajack, because he's so more powerful.
I love his voice.
Aye, he's got a great voice. He's got a great, aye.
So the slide obviously mimics voice, and his voice mimics instrument.
Yeah, I think, you hit the nail right in the head, Hen. Honestly, the guy's awesome. That's the reason he's been nominated for awards, and it wouldn't have happened if he hadn't took that leap, which I'm just starting to do now. So let's hear what he's going to say about about his singing, because I don't think he believes it, to be honest. Or maybe now he does, but let's hear about it. Do you have anything in your career that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, my solo albums are all been really cool. I'm really proud of. Yeah, and I was thinking that with Babajack the band, I made 6 albums. So I've got about like 9 albums now, which is crazy. Or 8 or 9. This would be the 9th. So I'm proud of all of them, really, but I'm particularly more proud of the solo stuff. And, I mean, when I was in the band wouldn't let me sing. They called me, my partner, she called me Trevor No Sing Sing, because I wasn't allowed to sing in the band, And so when I left the band, I thought, I've got to start singing.
Best thing you ever did, mate. Honestly.
I know, honestly, I see how the kind of wee, I'm not going to obviously do it, but
but you do
low
it.
notes that it sounds like like he's pinging a low string somewhere else.
Yeah, I think he's got a great setup. Yeah, and also here's another guy who has got a similar deep voice and lovely singing voice. A guy called Johan Eliasson, otherwise known as Bottleneck John. Now, I forgot to mention him earlier, but he's also an acoustic master, a lovely guy, and you'll wait to hear him playing. Go.
So this is No Matter, I can't read it because it's all, No Matter How He Done It.
shakes all over when she walks. She make a blind man see and a dumb man talk. No matter how she done it, no matter how she done it, no matter how she done it, she done just the Hey, I'm Bottleneck John, and you're listening to Galty and the Gators Blues and News Show in Scotland. Oh, yeah.
So there you have it. No matter how she done it, it's because for some reason it's copied over, all running together. So I was trying to try to read one gigantic word.
Ah, right, okay.
You see?
I see what you mean now. I just thought you're...
Yeah, you thought it was stupid. I know.
No, not stupid. Stupid's a strong word. Just illiterate. Which is fair enough, I think, because, you know, I live with you. You do a lot of illiterate stuff, so that's cool. Honestly, I'm just being honest with the listener. I think you should put on another song.
What would you like on?
Only because, right, there's loads. And there's a particularly... you pick one, actually. What's that?
Well, I know, I was just showing you what we've got. I don't know what's in here.
Alright, what about Bimini Gal by Catfish Keith? Because that's my favourite acoustic song. Oh, well done.
See, I know I'm on a
See, so you're not as stupid as you would say. Right,
no,
so.
This is where we are. This is what we've got.
Oh, right, okay. Is that how that works?
I know.
Oh, wow, that's cool. That's, oh, I love you.
That's why I do it.
You're not nearly... Like, I used to think you were just really hot. And now it turns out the brain works as well. I think that's amazing. Honestly. And, you know... Oh, honestly, I love that. You look good. Your brain works now. I know that now. And your toilet visits are always regular. I love that about you. You're honestly the most perfect woman in the world. And you're a good mum. And that matters, obviously, because, you know, you catch the slack for me.
Right, so I did want to actually tell everybody about Emma Steger's website.
Yeah, well, that's on you because you're similar-minded, aren't you? So you'll know what to say.
So if you go and look up Off My Tree, now I'm going to share this specific link over to our Facebook page, Galty Negator, because...
maybe do it before the show.
Yeah. The reason
or in the event.
Is to yeah, that's a good idea. Is just to make sure that it's the correct one that you go on, and it's 100% recycled, found, foraged and fallen wood, handcrafted to use and treasure. And honestly, this is amazing. The stuff that's on here. The website's really functional and easy to use, so I don't have to kind of go through that. But there's jewellery, there's homeware kind of things, you know, like salad bowls, utensils. There's cutesy wee things like wee fairy rooms. It's honestly, there's loads of stuff on there. I've just sat for ages going through it all. Lovely.
My bank balance is depleting as I watch my device get off the website, please.
But yeah, so I highly recommend that you go on and check it out. And as I said, it's all recycled or fallen forage stuff. It's not, you know, it's not gone out. No trees were harmed in the making of anything here. But it's all handcrafted, stunning pieces. It is definitely worth going and checking out. So that's me done my wee bit.
Right, cool.
And
Can
what
I
we
speak
have,
now?
Yeah. Can you speak now? You do a lot of that.
Can I speak? Let me speak. When we argue, actually, it's funny because when we argue, one of us, and it is an equal thing. It's not like one of us is worse for it than the other. But when one of us is making our obviously like
stating our case,
more important point, right, or making our point, the other one always tries to jump in because they think they know the rest of it, and then like, will you just shut up and let me speak? And that's like, honestly, we're gonna get t-shirts made. I think. Actually, I've just, oh my god, I've just thought of merchandise.
Oh dear.
Yes, if you want a "Let Me Speak" sticker, then I definitely think you should. I'm going to do them. Honestly,
Well,
up for it.
That would make Nathan's day. Just stick them all over his guitar. That's his favourite thing. He comes, just comes in and goes,
"Let me speak."
Let me. So if you're having a small disagreement, because we don't argue in front of the kids, but if we have a small disagreement and they happen to be around, that's what they all do, to the point where we just laugh at then and stop what we're doing.
I know. It's quite funny. Although that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And now somebody's going to steal it. That's amazing. I've just put it.
Well, I'm going to get this sticker, and then the next time that you go to say "Let me speak," I'm going to stick it over your mouth.
That's what happened. Or you're going to walk about with one permanent. I'll get a forehead. You only get a 5 head for mine. But yeah.
Look, you only get a hat.
yeah. It need to be a big hat.
Let me speak. I'm putting my hat on.
10 sheep's worth of wool.
Oh, there you go.
I said sheep's.
And knit you a hat.
And I don't know why I love it. You overlooked the fact that I said sheep's and not sheep.
No, but that's the kind of thing I would say, you see.
But I knew that about you already, see?
Thanks for that onion ring burp.
Let me speak.
Super.
Did you hear it?
No, I got it in the face.
Alright, okay, I've tried to do it off mic.
You did it off mic and blew it at me instead.
I didn't blow it at her, by the way. I did not. I'm going to do that.
Uh-huh.
I don't muffin cup, I don't do any of that stuff.
Uh-huh. So.
Oh, I love this show. Honestly. This is the highlight of my week.
Oh, me too. I do.
Honestly, not because I'm doing it with the love of my life. Like
because you get
music,
to speak to all your heroes, isn't it?
But because I get to do it with you.
I enjoy it. I wouldn't, as I said to you, I wouldn't mind if nobody listened just because we have such a laugh.
We just had a massive email, by the way, you know that?
I know, but don't.
From, I won't, let me speak. I won't, I won't tell anybody who it is. But,
right, because
oh
Rod
my
Stewart
God.
told us not to.
Oh my God! What are you doing? Are you serious?
It's Barry Manilow, isn't it?
They look the same, to be fair. Rod Stewart says Barry Manilow with bleach. Anyway, right, let's get this
what
next
we've
part
got
on.
coming up for you is, now it's going to be all uninterrupted because I wasn't present for this, but I really wish I was. And what's lovely is when I'm not there for these chats, you send them to me and I get to sit and just watch it, and I feel like I've been part of it.
And I tell you what, the guy, after you hear about this one in particular, we'll tell you where to find his music and also the videos to watch, because I learned a lot from him as a player. I learned a lot from him as a person, because he's a preacher.
Yep.
And he's a blues man, and he's very good at both. And I mean very good at both. He's a Detroit guy, very approachable. He said, "Hey man, thanks for reaching out. I can't believe I've got a soul brother in Scotland. I love Scotland. Please, let's do this again." That was his last words.
Everybody said that.
And the week before though, he was in a meeting with Kev Moore. That's a level, you know what I mean? That's a level of people that are still humble, you know, and I think that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. So let's stick on everything he did.
So he's going to tell you some amazing information. You need to pay attention very closely.
A few surprises.
And then we've got Donna Harula on there with a wee bit of chat. And in her first ever gig was opening for
the guy that's coming on.
Rabbit Rock.
And don't spoil it. That's why you're not allowed to speak.
You've already said at the beginning. See, I think you're going senile, and really, I'm going to have to start wiping your chin soon.
Who?
Put wee bibs. Get you a bib. Will let me speak, and I can use it to wipe your drool.
Oh wow! I'm on the receiving end for a change. I've never known this.
Yeah, double barrel.
Yeah. Dave McCarry was like to me, I hope that's toothpaste in your beard. And then told you the same thing.
Well, because I was saying about somebody added me to a Chicago beard group on Facebook, and I says, and I don't know why, because mine isn't nearly as spectacular as the rest of them. But what he did say quickly before we get into this that I found highly amusing was doing the Christmas thing outside, and he dyed
He
his
had a
beard
red beard and it looked
but
like-
he left a wee grey bit at the top, and then put a pom-pom at the bottom, so it looked like an upside down Santa hat. And see,
And if he washes it out, it just looks like Santa.
it was just
That's brilliant. I hope, see if you're listening, Dave, I love you, mate. And I still want to work with you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I think he's awesome, honestly. And so we have got what have we got? We've got Donna Harula, Not Looking Back, and then we've got a wee Dave Arcari in there.
Yeah, there's a bit of specialty in amongst it all, so you just need to stick it on and stop talking.
I'm going to
Let that speak.
Enjoy.
Well, I understand that blues is pretty broad, and so what one person thinks is blues, another person doesn't, and it can get really, is blues acoustic stuff? Is it Big Bill Brunzi, or is it BB King, or what is blues? My grandmother brought home a Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee record, and I'm not sure if the audience is necessarily familiar with who those guys are, but I'll give you a little example of, like, she brought home this album, and it had songs like this. Brownie was the guitar player, Sonny was a harp player, and I didn't know it, I guess I didn't realize it, that these guys, were like, from an acoustic blues tradition, but they had songs that sounded like. My baby and me, we never used to fight. Used to hug and kiss at night. I came home one morning and she had gone away. Ever since she went away, Lord, no, my heart does nothing but ache. Her address is unknown, Lord, the blues is here to stay. She gone but not forgotten, tell you the reason why. She had the kind of love that would satisfy. She had love like the ocean rolling that comes in with the tide. But I hope, Lord, I hope there comes a day she let her love roll by my way and explain to me herself the reason why she left.
The pandemic, did it feel like starting over again, or were you just eager to get back?
We still played some outdoor shows in 2020. So yeah, it was definitely, and that was the year that I played with Joanna Connor, because we couldn't play outside, right? So they decided to put people on, to me, it was kind of an interesting time, because you had to do something different. And it brought up its own opportunities and meeting people that, usually Joanna, say, for example, or any, musician, they're on tour somewhere. But see, during the pandemic, everybody in Chicago had to stay home. They weren't flying to Europe. So it was interesting during the pandemic because, I did a show, we did a show, and, Toronto Cannon was part of it. It was an acoustic show. Toronto was playing acoustic guitar. He doesn't usually do that, so it was very interesting.
Hi, this is Donna Harula, and you're listening to Galty and Gators Blues and News Show in Scotland.
Hey, so that's Donna Harula.
And that was her
And
chat.
it's because you're putting it on too high.
It's not, look.
What? No, put it down a bit. Right, okay, put it on the other side then.
We're having technical issues. I'll tell you what. So, I'll just go over here and put it back over because that's what happened the last time for me too.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, okay, so this is new.
I had a wee panic attack because none of my music was working.
See.
No idea why.
Right, okay.
It just does that.
It's supposed to be back to back, but
is,
you've ruined it.
What wasn't me? It ruined it.
I'm blaming you.
It's the technical stuff. Let's
Right,
see
we'll
if we
fire
can
it
just
on then.
See.
Right, okay, we'll just put on. That's it.
Hey.
So what's the problem?
There isn't one.
You
yet.
should have done that to start with. See, I knew it was your fault. I
didn't
knew it
turn
was.
your
No, this
microphone
is what I mean. No. Let's just get this out of the way before I'm the bad guy all over the world. Because we've got a lot of countries listening to this now. Right, so let's get one thing straight. You made a mistake. I got the blame, right?
I didn't blame you.
No, but I blamed you, and you didn't accept it, did you? That's what normally happens. That's why we go, let me speak. Let's get those stickers made. I'm gonna tattoo it to your forehead.
Are you?
Mm.
Uh-huh. So this
I'll
is
be like
Donna
a ninja.
Harilla. Can't wait to see my baby.
Can't wait to see my baby. I'll be coming in tonight. He'll meet me at the station. Gonna squeeze him tight. I'm riding to Chicago. I'll be jumping off this train. We'll be walking round downtown and drinking pink champagne. Can't wait to see my baby. We're going out tonight.
I ain't seen my baby in 27 days. I miss her hugs and kisses and her troublemaking ways. I can't wait to see my baby. You know she's coming back to town. We'll be rolling, tumbling, both feet off the ground. Can't wait to see my baby. Gonna have some fun tonight. Ground is gonna rumble, the walls are gonna shake. We'll be rocking all night long, keep the neighbors wide awake.
Conductor cries Chicago. I grab my bags, it's time.
Steel wheels slowing down, I'm pushing through the line.
All the doors are gonna open. I'll see the pretty city lights.
I shower her with kisses, we'll have a real good time tonight.
Can't wait to see my baby. We're going out tonight. Can't wait to see my baby.
Gonna have some fun tonight.
Can't wait to see my baby. We'll have some fun tonight.
is the soul of a man? What is the soul of a man? Traveled in many countries, traveled through forest lands, find nobody to tell me what is the soul of a man? What is the soul of a man? Won't somebody tell me? Answer if you can. Won't somebody tell me what is the soul of a man? I saw a crowd stand talking, jumped up right on time to tell the doctors and the lawyers, man is more than his mind. Won't somebody tell me? Answer if you can. Won't somebody tell me what is the soul of a man? What is the soul of a man? I read people's fortunes. I try to read them right. Tell the doctors and the lawyers, man is more than his mind. Man is more than his mind. Won't somebody tell me? Answer if you can. Won't somebody tell me what is the soul of a man? What is the soul of a man? What is the soul of a man?
And there you have it. That was Dave Arcari with Soul of a Man. And just shortly, I've got we've got the version of the same song by Donna Harula, so you can hear that. But here we are chatting to her about what it was like, or what it is like rather, being a woman in the music industry for one, but it must be, a thing being a woman in the blues music industry. So this is her take on that.
Well, I think it has helped me in a way, like people don't expect women to be able to play the guitar. So I've been at like Chicago Blues Festival where I'm on one of the side stages and people are walking by and then they like do a double take and they're like, what? And so I think like there's the expectation is a little bit different. Like, oh, women can't play. But then when a woman can play, then it's like an anomaly. It's like shocking to people.
Yeah.
And then they'll be saying like, so we got like. Do you have time for a song?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's your time.
Travel to different countries, travel to foreign lands. Found nobody could tell me just what is the soul of a man. I want somebody to tell me. Answer if you can. I want somebody to tell me just what is the soul of a man.
it's just me. Are you finished?
I was eating onion rings.
Sitting there munching. Donna Hurley. So that was during our... No, I don't. That
No,
was during
I would kill somebody for that. Like, I would kill a man for doing that slappy noise.
Well, you almost did the other day. So...
I on the train. Oh my God. I have never heard a man suck an apple. I tell you what, if he does it again, he will die by apple. Who killed you, Granny Smith? Was she a gangster? No. No, it was the apple was trying to suck on the train. That's who it was.
So, there you had. So that was her version. With David Carey's version, and a wee bit of something in the middle. And I was honestly, this time, I'm going to say it again. It's going to be like the meat mantra at the end of our shows. This was the best one yet.
I know. I've had a great time actually, like doing all of these. Although, I just remembered that if you like this show, then should I tell them that we're going to do that? Or?
I don't know, because I don't know what we're doing. What are we doing? I still didn't get it. You can tell me. Oh, aye, definitely.
Aye, so we're speaking to Bobby Rush on soon.
On a day.
I need to check actually, because the calendar, honestly, I just like to see letters and numbers now.
Aye.
They're not even words or dates. It's just like, it's like an eye test, then a time, an eye test. You know, my calendar is literally every day full. Speaking to somebody that I thought would never even know who I was.
That's it, I know. It's great fun.
So it's amazing, aye. So we're going to have Bobby Rush. We're going to have blues, like roots blues, although innovator giants, Memphis Hippie Sounds.
I know.
And they're lovely. I mean, they're our pals anyway, to be fair. They would have done it anyway. But, and the Schnelly Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, okay, I'm going to stop there.
I know. So what we've got for you next,
and
actually...
Robert Gray. Oh no.
Is
oh no, sorry. I just gave that away. Sorry.
Anyway, the wind blows. Michael Messerschmidt.
I'm a nightmare, sorry.
Yes, and then we'll be back with a wee bit from him as well.
Some like this, some like that. Some don't know where it's at. If you don't get loose and you don't groove, well, your motor won't make it and your motor won't move. If time don't tell you, don't ask me. Riding on a hurricane down to the sea. Can't hear the music, turn it up loud. It's moving in the air, moving in the crowd. Bow-legged woman do the boogaloo. She gotta jive, she gotta move. Turn around, do it again. Bow-legged woman, where you been? Fat Jack owns a honky-tonk downtown. You can catch a woman if you hang around. Tear down the door, tear down the wall. Fat Jack, he don't care at all. Easy come, easy go. Any way the wind blows. Hey there, Tabler, can you give me that beat? Can you give me that beat? Make me move with my feet. Vina player, been all around the world, but he can't play a lick for looking at the girls. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Better change your ways or you won't get to heaven. 8, 9, 10, gonna stop at 11. 11 just lay there, rhyme with 7. Some like this, some like that. Some don't know where it's at. If you don't get loose and you don't groove, well, your motor won't make it and your motor won't move. Easy come, easy go, any way the wind blows. This is Michael Messer, and you're listening to Galty and the Gators Blues and News Show.
Oh no, come back down to Bimini. Never get a licking till I come back down to Bimini. Oh no, come back down to Bimini. Never get a licking till I come back down to Bimini. Coming back down, loving back round with your daughter. My low with the V8 jump back in your order. You loving round, come back when you order. Oh, my Lord, the V8 phone, jump back with the order. Oh, no, come back down to Bimini. Never get a licking till I come back down to Bimini. Oh, no, come back down to Bimini. Never get a licking till I come back down to Bimini. down to Bimini. Never get a lick until I come back down to Bimini. Oh no, come back down to Bimini. Never get a lick until I come back down to Bimini.
All right. This is Catfish Keith, and you are listening to Galty and the Gators Blues and News Show in Scotland. Yeah.
Well, that was a bit loud, and you went a bit far with the dial there.
You know, right, to paint the scene.
Here we go. Oh my God!
You just lift your mic.
I'm gonna suddenly be the guy who does the least.
No.
Here we go.
No.
Publicly, Ian's lazy.
Not at all. No, that's not what I was going to say. But
Well, paint the whole scene then.
To paint the scene in this specific moment.
To
right?
paint your wee 30-second scene that matters to nobody.
You just
Ian's
pick
lazy.
You pick
Sound
your,
mate.
You pick your microphone up and just start talking, and I'm racing to turn the thing on. You see?
All I'm going to say is,
because I'm still over here.
Very thanks for letting me have one of your twirls.
Oh, you're very welcome.
The taste very nice.
I know.
I actually savoured that in my mouth for a wee while, and then I realised I had to go back in the radio.
So actually, I need you for this part anyway.
Oh no, you
know.
don't.
Yes, I do.
So 2 minutes ago, you told me you don't need me.
I did not. Right. That was Catfish Keith. Now I put his wee ID back on because it's so cool. But you picked that. You love that song. But there was also a relevance to today's show.
Yeah, there's two relevances actually, because like for our show in general, he's inspired by a guy, Joseph Spence, who also is an inspiration for Joey Landreth. I was just getting Landreth sorted out there because I nearly said Sonny, and Sonny was like, I don't even know who that is. Right. So that was pretty cool. But the main reason is because Donna Harula has her guitar signed by Catfish Keith.
Uh-huh.
Dave Arcari knows both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Catfish Keith's Desert Island choice would be Blind Willie Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
If you could only listen to one person forever, it would be that. And Dave Arcari, Catfish Keith, and Don Harula all play a Blind Willie Johnson song.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I know that's like mental gymnastics, but that's why I forgot to put the other song over.
The flow chart was colourful, but no, it was. But
honestly,
yeah, I know it's cool.
Pretty much.
So
I'm going to let you pick about the chats though, because you played a big part in how good the interviews were. Like, I loved knowing that he wore his pants back to front and stuff like that. You know? Who would even ask that?
Well, I suppose ventilates the.
Not Catfish Keith. I would just meant in general.
Anywho, right. So we saved a wee bit of the Michael Messer chats because it was so cool, and so we've got that for you just now. As of obviously was me.
How did you do that?
I know.
Sorry, that's like hi. I just realised that you. Oh, that's like wizardry.
I know. Well, so anybody who has children may have came across a CBeebies TV program called The Zingzillas. Now, if you're a parent and you'll be well aware that you have to sit and watch CBeebies with your kids, you see. And you know, some of the programs some of the programs are chronic. I actually quite liked this one, right? So The Zingzillas is a music show aimed at children sort of 6 and under, and it was set on this monkey-shaped tropical island. So the whole purpose...
Oh, I just realised it was a monkey. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I also just spoke into an empty receptacle as a microphone for a laugh, so that's fine.
So their main purpose seems to be to create a song for the big zing, right? And coconuts come out.
Or the next big zing.
Aye, so it's always the big zing. Yeah. Now I know. You astound me. So the characters are Zach, Tang, Pansy, and the youngest one's called Drum. I don't think she speaks very much, but she's a dab hand.
She's youngest.
The drummer, you know.
Aye. That's like most drummers, to be fair.
And they're mentored by DJ Luce, right? So they each episode was a different type of music. They've had all sorts on there, honestly. They've had like, what am I trying to say? I know.
Try saying that with a drink.
No.
You get them the wrong way around and get 10 off the air.
So that, you know, like people playing the flute. They've had rock, metal. It was a lot of anything you can imagine, which is fantastic because it's a great way to, you know, introduce kids to music. However, they also had some blues, which was tremendous. So have a wee listen to this. I'm going to have to bring up the Zingzillas though.
All right, okay. I knew you would. I knew you would.
Zingzillas.
She's been holding back, right? And I knew she was choking to ask.
Zingzillas.
She has been desperate to ask because of her kids, right? And I know that.
The Zingzillas, of course.
How on earth did you come about going on there?
I was approached by the director and producer of the show. Back then, Mark Cooper was the head of music at BBC, and I believe it was Mark that put them in touch with me. And the Zingzillas had all kinds of musicians. Each week was a different type of music, and they contacted me and asked me if I would do a blues Zingzillas. And it was as simple as that. It was as simple as that. And we recorded the tracks down at Pinewood, and yeah, I mean, it's strange really because I live probably the closest to anyone that they ever involved in that show, and in many shows I live about 2 miles from Pinewood Studios. So, which is where they shot it. So when they said to me, you know, we cover all your travel expenses, it was like, well, actually, it's about a minute in my car. You know, we don't even need to.
I
So yeah, that's how that came about, and it was a wonderful thing to do. It was an amazing thing to do, and yeah, it was incredible. And I had no idea when I did it how big it would be. It was the BBC's lead show of that year, which was 2010, and it was their biggest investment and their biggest show of that year because they shot so much. I think they shot 50 episodes, something like that.
Michael Mesa.
Yep, he's
helped
cool
with the big zing.
Yep.
It was actually a cool program. I remember one time. I know I've said this.
I know. Oh my God.
I came in. I know, but you gave no idea. I thought the Wayne had got hold of the remote and had, put something else on, and then realised it was this half-naked kind of, and what parts were covered were lycra. Man,
and it was cold. You said, because the only bits you could actually see was his raspberry ripples. Thankfully. No, but I meant now. This is you. This is what I mean.
But
now, we've just finished reading.
No, but it was.
So basically, right.
A lot of his torso was on show, and he must be into a bit of manscaping. That's as far as we're going with that. Okay.
Right, okay.
Because
fair
there
enough.
was a lot of lower body on show that should have been.
He looked like a 7-year-old girl with a guitar, right?
Anyway.
Aye.
So he was the big thing too.
Yeah, but also.
Yes.
We also were reading. We were on. This is going to be a bit ropey.
Oh, I think you shouldn't.
I'm going to do it anyway. So you get. Oh, if they hate me that much, they'll edit it out. But if you Wikipedia this, it says the music was by Banks and Wag, which is fine, right? Banks and Wag is absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drink, then say that on the radio.
Especially if you are a bit tongue-tied at any point. Right, we're moving on swiftly here because we've got some more Reverend
we've got a lot of stuff to get through.
More Reverend Robert
Yeah,
Jones.
that's the one to put on.
I'm putting it on. You ready?
Are you going to put it on?
I am. Are you excited?
You put it on?
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Like one of the longest songs that I know of is Death Letter Blues. right? And so I start to do kind of this thing. I got a letter this morning, how do you think it read? Said, hurry, hurry, cause the gal you love is dead. I got a letter this morning. Oh Lord, how you think it read? You said, hurry, hurry, cause the gal you love is dead. Right? So I decide, what happens if you take that song and instead of doing two verses, you do one verse? And what if you speed up the tempo and eventually you fade the music out? You end up with this. I got a letter this morning, how do you think it read? Said, hurry, hurry, cause the gal you love is dead. You know I packed up my suitcase, took off down the road, and I got there, see you laying out on the limbo. I either close and I look down in her face and say, hey, you know I love you, but I just can't take your place. You see, like the flower was dead, trying to feel around. I didn't know how much I love to tell you, put my baby in the ground. For my arms again, I walk away and say, hey, you know I love you, have to see your judgment day. You know I woke up this morning, it was about to break a day, and I was sitting on the pillow where my baby used to lay. Went to church, bowed down, I tried to pray with the blues come along, and they blowed my spirit away. Woke up this morning about to break a day, and I was sitting on the pillow where my baby used to lay and say, hush. Before I heard her call my name, she didn't call so loud, but she called so plain. Yeah, boy. So, right? So, all of a sudden, man, these kids are going nuts because what they've just seen is a transformation from Delta blues, like you said, which is pretty raw. Absolutely, man. Son House is one of my greatest influences. In fact, even though he was born in Mississippi and spent a lot of time in Rochester, New York, he actually died in Detroit, and his grave is literally 2 miles from where I live.
you did for me is take my body home.
Well, you're really good at that. Oh, look. That's brilliant.
I know.
You've got this technique that you just twist it perfect.
I know, that's obviously what I was like put on this planet for. Like,
Yep, twisting
knobs.
dials.
So.
I said dials because I'm always getting a review for saying knob too much.
That is a knob. That's not a dial, is it?
Well,
would you call it a dial?
I would if
I
knob
would call
was
it
a
a
bad
dial
word.
if it was flat.
Right, okay.
But it's not flat, it's like...
Well, you are definitely put on this planet to twist knobs then, yes.
Right, moving on. So,
in which
that
case,
was...
I apologise for calling it a dial.
Trevor, Baba Jacques Steger. Please. Right, so we've got one last bit of chat with Reverend Robert Jones.
Yeah, actually, because so you've heard him rap, you've heard him do some Sonny Terry Brownie McGee, and he is actually a reverend. That's not a stage name. He is actually, in fact, he's been doing the blues only very slightly longer than he's been doing preaching, and I learned a lot from him. Like I was sitting listening to him, like all welled up about the things he would say. But I asked him a particular question because of the history of the blues, and what you hear is devil's music.
Yes.
Right?
Aye.
Okay. So I said, did excuse me, had to let one out. So so I asked him a particular question. I said, look, did you not find it a bit difficult to be a preacher and a blues man at the same time? And his response was absolutely brilliant, honestly, and I think you should put it on.
Folks who were enslaved in the United States, they had absolutely nothing but their music. So they're in the fields, but they're using the music to work to, and they're using the music for comfort. And then somebody else sort of comes along and says, no, see, this music is good. This music is bad. This music you should play, this music you shouldn't. Well, who gives that person the right to determine what the music is that you need, right, as a human being?
So there you go.
Aye,
that was
so,
what he had to say on that.
Aye, and I think that's an important message, yeah.
Absolutely.
There's loads more that he said, actually. That's only like, you've heard a grand total of what?
5 minutes.
9 minutes or something like that, right? Same with Michael, same with Dave, same with... Although, I might make Dave's available for an explicit podcast.
Yes.
Because honestly, like, I don't have the hours involved.
No.
Sorry, Dave, but I mean, there was a lot of fs and a lot of shs and a lot of ks and a lot of ts and a lot of ha 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 jobbies. So there was a lot of that, right? But I had a great time talking to you, pal. So if you're listening, like, you're my fave.
Aye, it was cool, and of course the children had to make an appearance pretending they needed something.
I know it twice.
I know.
Yeah. So we've got some music to play out with. I think you picked it, eh?
Uh-huh.
Yep. So, what happens there?
What do you mean?
Yeah. you're the boss.
I'm showing you.
Oh,
I'm
you're
showing you how long we've got.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
How long is the music?
The music's only like
half of that.
4 minutes, so you're going to have to speak to me.
Oh,
Shock
no
horror.
way. As long as you're going to be all right.
So we're playing out with a Donna Harula song.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought you were going to say, right?
Aye. It was
I'm sorry, but I thought that's what you were going to say. But, see, before we do,
Yes.
I think if you scroll the actual files that I gave you, right, and stop being so absolutely...
What's happened here?
What do you mean what's happened here?
Why is it going away over there?
Oh, because you did... Oh, whatever, right, anyway. So, I think there's 2 songs on here, actually, that I love. It's the one that you've put up there. The other one is Meow Meow by Andres Roots, right? So you could probably get away with putting that one, because folk will love that. And he only put it on the list because... Well, basically because I begged him to, right?
I think we played this in one
He
of
was
our
on
early
TV.
shows.
He was on TV. Like this was the one that done the best out of all of our shows. That show, sliding into 22.
Aye, that's right.
It's like that kind of sultry, Ooh, we're sliding into 2022.
Right.
You know?
That didn't sound very sultry. It sounded menacing, but okay, we'll work on that.
Same difference. So, sliding into 2022.
No, that sounded like
right,
Jimmy
when you did
Savile.
it, you did. No, you did it. What? Who did it? Who you said?
I said it
I'll
sounded
fix
a
it
bit
for you.
Jimmy Savile.
I'll fix it for you.
And then you go sliding into it. Actually, you sound like a radio presenter that I know, so I'll tell you it when we're off mic, okay?
All right, okay. Oh, is it the guy next door?
No. No. No.
All right, okay. That's good then.
It was almost a wee bit, who lives in a house like this?
Do you do cooking sauces? Do you do cooking sauces as well?
Sliding into 2022.
Right.
Marsh money penny.
Right, okay.
I know, that's why I do radio. See? You see?
Right.
Yep. I get to do it in my own voice and nobody can see me.
And play with the wee knobs and that.
Twiddle them. Right, so
While talking about Jimmy Savile.
That was all your fault, to be fair.
Right, but anyway.
So we're going to have to work on his mic chat when he's out doing a gig and he thinks he's been sultry and he's going, sliding into 2022.
But anyway, that's the first appearance that Andres made on our show.
Yes.
And it was amazing. And this is the track I picked because it's just a lovely piece of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all it is. It's just beautiful music and it's
we've
live.
Got 2 meow meows.
You know, yeah. What? Cats,
meow
you mean?
Meows. But that's meow meow.
Yeah, you had one, but don't ask meow how you got the second.
Right. And on that note, we shall bid you a farewell.
Yes,
if
absolutely.
If you made it this far.
Yeah, well done. Congratulations.
They'll be coming soon.
Yeah, and we're gonna make stickers up and our top fans can get in touch with the page and we promise you they'll be cheap. And the top fan of the week gets a free one, I think. Or something.
Nice.
Do I do that?
Aye, that sounds good. Right, meow meow.
Love you all.
Not looking back. Enjoy. Bye bye.
Chicago again. 5 nights gone and I thought you were dead. They picked you up and you're strung out in jail. You spent all of our money and there's none left for bail. You say you need my love to be a better man. Our love was a rock that's crumbled to sand. You're not changing your ways, I'm not changing my mind. My eyes are drying after all of your lying. I miss you, but the train's rolling down the track. I miss you, and Lord, I'm not looking back, not looking back, not looking back, not looking back. When your best friends became a needle and spoon, that's when I realized I gotta get away from you. And this time we're through. Too many times I left and came back to you. One-way ticket, mama's money I'll spend. You're not gonna hurt